Hi, and welcome to Design It with Tammy Gibbs. I'm Tammy, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make multiple products with just 4 to 5 clip art images. So let's get started. I'm going to be using Artistly 5 and Canva Pro, and let's go into the Fast AI Image Designer. I'm going to go over to my personal designs, and we're just going to scroll down here to where I started. Okay, so these are my 5 images right here that I have created. And let me just go in and backtrack a little bit with you. So basically, I started with, believe it or not, let me just show you, originally with this image and this prompt. And this image and this prompt was utilized. It was actually created originally, or the prompt was, in a previous video that I did, and I really liked it. So I used it, and then let me just show you. Let me just grab one. Let me grab this one. Okay. So I'm going to just show you this because that way you can see that you can adapt. So we've got a cute sitting bunny here, and I removed this bunny and I added cute little girl. And you can see how you can kind of edit that prompt. And we went from a bunny into a little girl here. Okay, so you can take those prompts and you can take and move them however you want. So what I did past that is I took and refined it a little bit more and put cute little girl sitting in I think I did surrounded by flowers. Okay. So you can keep adapting it until you get just the look that you want. So I basically went from that bunny to this, an image similar to this, and then I kept tweaking it. So surrounded now with flowers. Sorry about my puppies. It's thundering and lightning here, so they're probably going to be a little not as polite and quiet as they are normally. So then to get this image, I changed it to cute little girl sitting in a patch of flowers. And so I ended up with this beautiful, lovely image, and then was able to create this little 5-piece pack of clip art with the 5 little girls. Okay, so how did I take these 5 images, which are so very cute, such cute little poses there. Okay, so product 1, I'm going to show you how to take and create a coloring page. So we're going to go up to the top. Now we're going to go over to our design assistants and go under the photo editor. And then we're going to select one of our little girls. Just have to go through there. So we'll select this one. And then I'm just going to pull up over here in Canva. Hang on just a second. I have the exact phrase that I use right here. I started I don't have a few of them, but when I'm using the photo editor, I basically started this page so that I can then take it in and already, ones that I know kind of work. So this is the one for the coloring page. I just copy and paste that in there, and then hopefully it's going to work like it did before. AI is unpredictable, but hopefully we will get a render that will be very similar to our original image in a coloring page. So we could do a whole little coloring book. So that would be product 1. See how cute? Adorable. So we could do a whole coloring book using the photo editor to convert that into a coloring page. So very, very cute. Okay. Our second product, so we've got coloring page, and our second product is going to be stickers. So we're also going to be using the photo editor to create the stickers. So let's choose another one of our images. Let's choose this little girl. Okay. So we're going to go back into the photo editor. We're going to go back into our library, and we're going to choose the little girl that we want to use. Let's choose her. And then I have turned this image into a sticker shape with the white border around it. And that worked before, so we're going to hope it works again. If it doesn't, we have to tweak a little bit more. But I made all of those stickers with that, and it really did not take a long time. I'm not going to redo that because it takes so much time, and I know you guys are really busy, and I do try to be cognizant of your schedule and the time that you have to devote to the videos, but some of these things just take longer. I apologize, but they just do. Sometimes you may have to do them in a different setting. Several sittings. So here is our sticker. So now we have a sticker of this one, and we could go back and we could recreate. We could take and do a sticker for each of those 5 designs, and we could include, whether we include it with the coloring book perhaps, and we did that as a little bonus, or however we want to do it. Okay, so that is product 2. So we've got coloring book and stickers. Okay, and I have another really lovely idea for you a way to use these stickers that I think would be great, and that's going to give you even more things to do. So now what we're going to do is go into Canva. I already have my thing done up here. Okay, so I created, this is one of those little calling cards. I've done them in other videos, but this is going to show you kind of how I did that. I'm going to dissect this one by making a copy, and I'm going to duplicate the page. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the pieces apart to show you how, what I did. So if you go down to this, what I ended up doing is to get this, and let me make another page. Okay, so I took one of the little, I think it was this little girl, and okay, so what I did is I actually used the expand feature. Now there is one inside Artistly, but since I'm already in Canva and just for time wise, I'm going to try it with this one. You'll find that feature under the edit, and you'll go all the way under the Magic Studio. You'll go to Magic Expand, and we can take the freeform. We'll take it right here, and then we're just going to pull it out, and then we're going to expand and see what it comes up with. Now, it probably won't come up with the same thing it did originally, but I'm going to show you how I was able to work with the image to kind of get it like that. Okay, so it did the same thing before. It put 2 little girls, and the little girls were not that it added were not at all what I wanted. So then what I did was I did done, and then I went into the magic eraser, and that one probably I'm going to have to redo it, but I erased the little girl through here like this. Okay, so I erased that. And I may have to start over because I had a kind of heavy hand and sometimes it'll just bleed through. No, that's fine. Okay, so then you want to kind of just blend your edges and stuff a little bit. I don't know if this will remove everything or not. Okay, no. So I basically used it as I blend by doing the magic eraser and just using it to blend. So now I have something. I wouldn't leave it that way, but then I took and went back in the uploads and I went to this image, background, removed it, and then I was able to add some of it in, and I can duplicate and then work with the florals a little bit. Go without that and go. Shh. Sorry. Sorry about them. It really is. It's thundering pretty bad. Okay. So we've got that. And then now I'm just going to pull my name back across. And then you can see how cute that can be. And I mean, I could play with it and I can add some more flowers or whatever. I could do a little bit more blending. So that's just a way you can use some of those tools to kind of expand when you're using the expansion feature to kind of, if you want it all to be the same. Okay, so we have 3 products now. We have coloring pages, we have the sticker, and we also have this calling card. And what people do with calling cards for their kids is, like, if they go to a birthday party or something like that, then they'll use that as a card for the birthday. Like, this gift is from me. They'll put it inside the gift or whatever, so that when they open it or whatever, they know that that gift is from that child. And so that's kind of how that works. Okay, so now let me show you the cute little bookmark that I made, and then I'm going to also backtrack it and show you how I put it together. So let's take all this apart. And then I'm going to show you. Okay, so basically we have our image here that we put on. And then I wanted to have this little band right here. So how I did that is basically this is the whole image, but yet I cut it down. Okay, so then you just put your, from the library of right here, you have that little band, and you have a really cute book plate. So you can people can print these on, like, this one is done by the little 2x4 labels that you can buy in on one page. You get like 10 labels on one page, 2 rows of 5 each. And they can print these out, and then they can stick them inside of the child, whoever's book, whether it's an adult or a child. But anyway, so here we have with these images, and we could literally make we would continue and make one for each of the designs, each of the 5 designs. So then you would have 5 designs. You could do 2 on one sheet of paper. You could do 2 of each of the designs, or you could make more. You could do 10 whole designs and have one design each of all of those. Okay, so now we're up to coloring book, sticker, the kids calling card, where we have the book plate, and now we're going to go to the next product, which is just wall art. This would be really cute framed. This one is just an 8.5 by 11. You could turn it into an 8 by 10, or even a small poster size. And so that would be really cute. Additionally, what you can do with the same image, and let me just make a copy of it. Let's duplicate it and let me show you how you could do it. So a lot of times people are now taking those notebooks. Let me see if I can find one excuse me, real quick. Okay, notebook. So let's get a photo of a notebook, like a composition book. This one will work. Okay, so I'm going to remove the cover from this one, and we're just going to imagine this is just one you can pick up like at the at Walmart or whatever. So a lot of people are doing this. So they're actually taking and I'm going to remove this image. I'm going to turn this into white so we can see it real good. Okay, so we have a notebook here. This is just a photograph image. Okay, so let me just show you what you can do. You could take the elements and go into frames. Going to grab a frame, and then a lot of them are creating their they're doing their papers or whatever, and they're just basically kind of either doing them on sticker paper or gluing them or whatever. So okay, and then they'll leave the little band right there, but then on the front of it here. So let's just see what it would look like with one of our little girls, because you could do a whole bunch. Oops, I'm sorry, that was a sticker. That was not what we wanted. Okay, so here's our little girl. And so what we could also do is, you can do them personalized. So you could do a little box here, like that, and then change the color to match here. Probably this one, I think. And then let's get it up where we can see it. We would put the name, Michelle Davis, and change the font. So you could do this as a template for people, or however you wanted to do it. You could do the white. That kind of muted Michelle Davis. And so you could put the child or the adult's name, and then you have a really cute notebook cover. All they have to do is print it on sticker paper, or either put it on, regular paper. And then you could even laminate one side of it. You could take your sticker paper and laminate it, with the kind that you don't heat up and everything. So you can make a notebook. And so this would be a really cute thing to size them, for whatever the normal composition book dimensions would be, and then sell them like that. So even as a journal cover. So let's see, let's count. Hang on. Let me plug it back up. I was not wanting to get struck by lightning, but I think it's maybe passed by a little bit now. Okay, so here we go. So let's see. So we have the stickers, the coloring book. We have the kids calling card. We have the book plate. And then we have the little wall art, frameable wall art. And now we have the little notebook, and then if you did it for a journal cover, that would be like 7 products right there that we've already done just in a few minutes that we could do. Now, here is some bookmarks that we've done. Now, what I did with these, and let me just show you, is I'm going to duplicate that page so I can show you. These are frames. Literally, I just took and let me add a page here. Okay. I went to Elements in Canva, and you can just drag them and make them as wide or as narrow as that you want if you just want a plain one. And then I just copied them like this and put them on there. Okay, so let's just can do it like this and have 4 to a page. Okay, so the little girl itself did not really, because it's not big enough to do her as a bookmark. Okay, not this dimension bookmark anyway. So what I did instead was I took the matching floral and I used it. And what you can do is you can just make it a little bit bigger so that it kind of covers up the whole thing, and until you get it sized the way that you want it. So you can play with it. And you just keep working at it until you get however many you want to do. And one more. You can see how fast you can actually do these. Now you could do them with any of the images that, floral images that you wanted to. Well, there we go. So now we have some bookmarks. So we're up to 8 now, 8 products, I think, if I'm counting correctly. All right, so now we're going to go over to look at this. So sublimation is popular. So there's tons of things you could do sublimation, which would put us at 9 to bazillion other things that could be sublimated. You've got the little water bottles like this. You've got mugs and tumblers. You've got coasters that, probably coasters may not be the best of ideas, because not for this print, but remember that my videos are meant for a broad range of things. So you could take 5 images that have like robots on them and do the same thing. You could make bookmarks. You could make all of these products with boy-oriented designs as well, or adults. You could do adult ones that have a favorite thing like reading, like books, or vintage things. So it doesn't have to be this image or an image that even looks exactly like this. It could be any number of different types of images. Okay, so, and here is our sticker, just to show you kind of how I laid out the stickers. I just did 4 of them. Here's the way the little coloring book page looks. I did 2 of those. And so, yeah, lots and lots of products that you can do just from a small pack of clip art. So when you design clip art packs, and let's just say, like for instance, this one right here, is not really, you can make it into clip art, but this image was so pretty with the background until, let me just sort of show you. You definitely could remove the backgrounds, but you're going to lose a lot of the charm of it. To me, it's just not nearly as cute when you remove the background. So these are products that you can actually do from these images that that you otherwise might not know what to do with them, or they're not going to make really good clip art. So let me show you one more product here on the fly. Okay, so this is just a standard 8.5 by 11 kind of sheet. Drag your ruler until you can put it about midway, 5.5. Okay, and then what we're going to do is, okay, let me do it a different way. Okay, so what I'm going to do is resize the page, and we're going to do it as a, nope, that's not what I wanted. Sorry, I hit the wrong one. Let's resize it. Okay, we're going to go to custom. We're going to do, okay. This is actually, this is like half of it. This will be the what we design on, but let me just show you how. And I did it wrong again, sorry. I'm sorry. A lot going on here with the way that it's storming. There we go. Sorry about that. I kept hitting the wrong thing. Okay, so now we've got it divided. This won't print, but it keeps it divided so that we can do it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do some cards that then, it's an 8.5 by 11 sheet, and we can then make cards. So you could put created by right back here. You could fix them so that when they print, have another side so that it has a birthday greeting or whatever. You could do invitations with these images. It would take a little bit more work because of how much all of this is. Like for instance, you could do this on one side and you could do the invitation stuff on this side and do it more like a postcard kind of thing, or a card size. You could do that. But you could, this would be the fold line, 8.5 by 11, and these would be blank note cards or something like that. You could also do it with a smaller size where you would get, do them where they're a smaller card rather than the full 8.5 by 11 folded in half. But anyway, so there's another product that you could do. So there's so many different things. And then there's one more somewhere that I thought I did. Okay, well, we can do it here. Okay, so let me grab down here in the apps. We're going to go into the mock-ups, and then I'm going to go down to the home and living. And then I'm just going to select one of these. Okay, so this is a mock-up, so you can kind of see. You could just make a iron-on or a whatever you call it print, And to use these, let's go back over here. So let's choose one of the little girls. I guess we'll do this one. And then we're just going to drag it, and you'll see this going around and around and around. And then soon we'll be able to see what it looks like on this what it looks on the, how it looks on the little tote bag. So that's yet another product that you could show that you could use like that. It would also be really super cute on a pillow for a little girl's room. So let's go back into the app, wherever it is. The apps. There it is. Back into the mock-ups, and we're going to look for a pillow. It should be under the home and living stuff also. So we're going to go down and find a pillow. There we go. So here's a cute pillow. And we're going to make this big so we can see it. Okay. I'm going to go back over here to our uploads. And this would be really cute to put her on a pillow. How cool is that? Isn't that neat? So that would be really, really cute. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed learning how to take these few images and basically just build out a ton of products. And what the really wonderful thing is about doing it like this is once you get a design or a few images in a design set, and you decide that you want to build out different products, then you can basically do it in a sitting. I mean, I did all of these in like 30 minutes, maybe, from concept to completion. Now, do I have to go back and do things to actually list them? Oh, absolutely. But the concept's there and everything would go a lot faster. I could do my all of my upscaling and anything like that that I needed to do prior to doing them, putting them together. I would have to put my coloring book together and all that kind of thing. But I've already, because I had momentum and I was doing things in sort of bulk designing, I find a lot of times when I'm designing for myself that I get on these little spurts and I just feel really creative. I find an image that works that I really want to do something with. And then it allows me, if I continue to go in there and get all of the ideas out, then I can go back and build out the products. And it saves me time, but it also does something else. A lot of times when we stop with what we're doing as far as the design work, we stop it rather than continuing to design. And I do this a lot too. A lot of times if I'm on a roll, just like back here with the Artistly, if you go back and you look at all these things, all of these were in a session. And it went from the bunnies to the bears to even a squirrel. And then ultimately I ended up with the little girls. And, it was a process, but I kept building, and now I can build out the squirrels. I can build out the rabbits. I can, build out different little girls because I can change that prompt up. I like the look of it, but I can change the colors. I have my playbooks and I can go back in and I can pull out different looks. I could do vintage. I could do there's just so many things I can do with that. I could change the style of the little girl. I could do a Scandinavian look. I could do lots of different things. I could take it from being a ballerina to a beach scene. I've got the basics down. I like the way it looks. I like the little girl, the way she looks. And, then I could change up, put bows in her hairs and stuff, flowers. There's so many things I could do. But because I went ahead and built out all of those prompts and built out what, I could go back and then work with, Some will be clip art because some of them will remove clearly and cleanly and still have pretty accents of flowers and stuff. But some of them are going to be better to just be turned into products that don't need to be transparent background. So that's kind of where we are with that. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you've learned something and you've gotten lots of ideas for your own images. Be sure and check out the Best-Selling AI Artist Playbooks. I have 5 of them now. 4 of them are AI Artist Playbooks, and one of them is the digital product creator one that tells all about visibility and traffic and getting organic uh, traffic and everything to make more sales and that sort of thing. And also be sure and sign up for my newsletter. It's once a week. It's free. And also, you need to sign up for my YouTube channel if you haven't already, so you get notifications when I add new videos, which is frequently. And definitely want to, if you don't have Artistly, check it out. I've got my affiliate link is down in the description. You help me out when you use it, but you can also, if you happen to have stumbled across a code somewhere, and because I don't know when you're watching this, so there's not any right now, but there may be when you're watching it, and so you can plug that in. Unless they change something, it will work. So you can also get that little discount off of it. But you also want to join my Facebook group. So lots of links. Just check them all out. They're all down in the description. Leave me a comment. Send me some ideas for videos you'd like for me to touch on. And until next time, happy creating.